All right, I'm not going to do a big extravagant entry today because I'm only going to be talking about clothing that you as an adult leader should consider wearing to summer camp. Stay tuned. So since Virginia is going through a bit of a heat wave, I really wanted to talk about clothing today that you as an adult leader should consider taking to summer camp. Some of these items I did buy last year, and then other ones I've picked up along the way in anticipation for the hot summer days out at summer camp. Now, I'm going to be covering 3 specific points in our head-to-toe clothing recommendation. The first one is going to be the function of the piece of clothing. 2 is going to be the fit, like how you should size or not size that piece of clothing. And finally, the price based upon like the brands that I have here and some other ones that I'll make some recommendations. I'm wearing all my favorite brands. Also, to make your guys' life a little bit easier, anything that I recommend in this video, I will try to put a link down in the description to a website that has it. There's a good chance that that will be an affiliate link, which means that if you click that item and then you end up purchasing it, there's no additional cost to you, but I do receive a small commission, and you are helping grow this channel, and I greatly appreciate it.
I do love money.
All right, so the first item on the list is going to be hats. If you registered for summer camp, you're likely going to receive a hat once you get there, but not all camps are like that, so make sure that you always bring one with you. This right here is a fairly lightweight cap, but it is a little heavier than I like, but it was good for while I was out there. One recommendation that I make for hats, because their function obviously is for sun protection, is to also make sure that they breathe very nicely and that they're not as heavy or hot on your head, because it sucks walking through the woods or out of summer camp and you're just piling on sweat and you get all the sweat inside of your band. So I also like to recommend these lightweight runner's hats. I do use these while I run and I have a ton of them. This one is from a brand called Sprint, and it's very lightweight. It has air holes. It's great for that. If you are married to a specific brand like North Face does make a similar item to it. It doesn't have the same mesh, but it is made of the same material and it's quite cool on your head when you're walking around. As far as fit, probably whatever hat you're going to get to wear to summer camp is going to have a adjustable backing like all of these. I always recommend that you get a hat that you can adjust, so that way if you start sweating through the day or you feel like your hat is too tight, you can go ahead and adjust it and you're not getting a headache on top of just wearing the hat. I mean, it's fairly simple, but I just wanted to point that out to everybody. And no, I'm not forgetting about full brim hats. I know a lot of parents like them. I just don't own any. I'll probably buy one in the future, but I don't have one right now. I will leave some links down in the description, as always, to ones that I think are pretty cool, but I haven't tested them, so buyer beware. All right, the next item is actually going to be your shirt. Now, most people, if you haven't been to summer camp before, don't know that you do have to wear your uniform, but only for certain ceremonies like opening ceremonies and then campfires. The rest of the time there, you are expected to be in like some form of Class B, which is just like a t-shirt, or if you're an adult leader, you can be in like some of the shirts that I'm going to be talking about here in a second. All right, so I'm going to mention a couple of different types of shirts, but don't get too hung up on the names. Think more about the function. So the day-to-day walking around inside of camp is going to be like a performance t-shirt like this one right here, where a performance t-shirt in my definition is one that's made of like a moisture wicking material, which this is. This one is from camp last year, and it was pretty much my go-to whenever we would go to an event where we knew there were going to be photos and we didn't have to be in uniform. All right, the next item is going to be a fishing or hiking shirt like I have right here. This is a Columbia PFG, and a hiking shirt or a fishing shirt, whichever you call it. Its function is meant to keep you cool, keep you covered, and keep you protected from the sun. This one right here is a Columbia PFG. It has a button down in the front, so if I want to wear another shirt with it, I can. It has ventilation in the back to help with cooling. And also, if I wanted to roll down or roll up the sleeves, there is an attachment inside of here, like a button, that I can put through this little loop, and it will secure the sleeves up and allow you a little bit more breathable room. All right, another brand that's more for a hiking t-shirt is going to be Wrangler, their ATG line. This is a brand new one, as you can tell, and I'm going to be testing it out this year because I really did like what I saw when I was looking at it inside of the store. This one, much like the PFG that it has had, does have ventilation in the back, and it is meant to do the same thing as the fishing shirt. It's just designed in a little bit of a different way. One, The PFG has plastic buttons. This actually has real metal buttons on it. It does have a few more zippers and hideable pockets, but also the mesh right here, which is, if I can turn it around, this is a better breathable mesh that's less likely to let in small critters with it. So this right here is an actual breathable mesh, which I think is going to be awesome this year. I do like to get these things in tan because it kind of blends in with everything. So just another recommendation. Like I said, this one is the Wrangler ATG line. The next one is going to be what I call a work shirt. Now, a work shirt's function is meant to protect you when you're, clearing timber, when you're going through the bush, basically any place where you can get scraped or rubbed up against, especially if you're trying to protect yourself from poison ivy, if you're going through some bushwhacking. Like if you're going out into camp to help clear some trails as part of a service project, I recommend getting yourself a work shirt. Now, I have a couple of these from 511, and these ones are my work shirts because while they are breathable and very lightweight, they are a lot more robust than some of these other shirts that I've just had up here. These ones I have done clearing logs, going through some pretty thick and heavy brush with them, and I really didn't get stuck as much as I was expecting with how light this is. Just like the other ones, it is buttoned down. It does have a couple of hidden pockets if you want to tuck some snacks or things away, and it does have the breathable mesh inside. But just another item to consider. Once again, that's the 511 tactical shirt, but it is meant for like working out in the field. Now I know what you're thinking, Matt, I really wish that Scouting America put all that breathable mesh that you were just been putting in front of us onto their scout shirts because I sweat a ton in it. Well, don't worry, I'm here to show you the BSA and Scouting America official performance shirt. If you guys haven't seen one of these in real life, you need to go out and see if you can find one. They do sell out fairly quickly, which kind of speaks to how good they are. They do have hidden pockets, and much like the other shirts that I had up here, they do have breathable mesh in the back to include these perforations, if I can get it to focus, right here in the back, which is going to feel great at summer camp this year. This one is a BSA official, so you know I'm not like just buying some off-brand one. No, there you go. Boom. Right there. See, it's official. This one, I haven't put the patches on yet. I'll probably do the Velcro patch ones for this so I have multiple use. But I think that this one is going to be clutch this year at summer camp. All right, as far as fit with all of these different shirts that I put up here, go with whatever feels comfortable. I always recommend going a little bit bigger when you have these kind of shirts because they're really meant to pull moisture away and allow air in and out. So if you get something that makes you look like you stole your younger brother's t-shirt,
that guy in a little coat,
you're not going to be as comfortable if you got something that's actually made to fit and maybe even a little bit bigger, so that way you do have some room to grow as we age, as we do. So we're halfway through the list, and if you like what we're doing here, do all that great YouTube stuff down below. But the best thing that you can do to help this channel grow is to share this video with all of your scouting friends. That way we can grow our community. And speaking of growing our community, I want to invite you over to Scouter Stan's channel at 9 o'clock Eastern the first Sunday of every month for the Campfire Chat. You can come on out and join people from all around the United States and some even from across the pond, talking about you, Mark, and sit side by side with us virtually and ask questions live on the air. It's a great time and I highly recommend it. But with that, let's go ahead and get back to the list. All right, so the next items on the list are going to be pants and shorts. And starting off with pants, I want to recommend a good pair of 511 or sturdy pants with cargo pockets that you can wear to pretty much any scouting event that you go to. Here I have 3 different types of 511. There's a fair chance if you go back to some of my old videos and you see me walking around, I'm wearing these types of pants because I buy them fairly frequently and they last for a really long time. I think that these 3 pairs that I have here are probably 6-7 years old and they're still holding up. They have cargo pockets. They're really meant like the work shirt that I talked about a minute ago to stand up to the pricks and the scrapes and everything if you're doing bushwhacking, or if you just need a good pair of pants that are scout appropriate or scout colored like this one here that you want to wear and be comfortable in. I really recommend these ones to everybody that I engage with. But before I forget, these pants do have an elastic band on the inside. If I can adjust, yep, right there. And that way, if you're walking around outside of Scouts, but you still carry your wood badge manual on the inside of your pants, and you don't want to switch between like a size 32 and a size 34, just know that this does have an elastic band just in case you need that little bit of extra give. I think that that's really cool, and I just wanted to point that out. All right, so next is going to be a lightweight hiking pants. Now, once again, I'm going to recommend these 511 pants that I have right here. These are pretty much almost my daily wear pants. They are a lot lighter than those other pants that I just had up on the screen. They do still have a zippable cargo pocket, and they do have that elastic band and stretch that I talked about, but they are more lightweight. They're a lot more forgiving, and you don't sweat as much in these as you do in the other one. And also, sticking with the Wrangler ATG brand that I wanted to try out, I did pick up a pair of their like hiking pants. So this is a brand new pair that I have right here. Once again, they've got the all metal buttons. They are very similar to the 511 pants I have here, with the additional tucked in pockets and a little bit of elasticity inside of there. And it does have the zippable cargo pocket to keep your items secure. So these ones, once again, are for walking around on the trail and giving yourself a little bit of breathing room and stretch. So we've talked about pants. Let's go ahead and talk about shorts. The biggest recommendation that I can make with the shorts is to get a hybrid swim trunk / hiking short for your time out at summer camp. Two brands that I really like that do this very well is going to be Under Armour and North Face. Right here, I have a pair of Under Armour shorts, which are like a hiking short / a swim trunk. I have swam in these, I have hiked in these, and I do enjoy them, and they are quite breathable, which is obviously important out at summer camp. Some things that I don't necessarily like about the specific Under Armour brand is the use of button snaps in the back. There are these little snaps right here in the back, which are meant to hold your stuff in. But I really believe that this should be a zippable pocket, especially if you're going to be wearing it out at summer camp, because that way you're locking in your keys and your stuff if you're not swimming. But they are breathable. They do have the mesh on the inside, like pretty much everything that we've talked about here, and they are really comfortable. Now, here is the North Face brand, and you can say like they almost look exactly the same as the other pair, but the difference is that they do have the zippable pocket on the back. They do only have the one pocket for with the zipper, but the rest of the pockets are here like normal, and they do have the mesh right there. So both brands really good, but I do prefer the North Face over the Under Armour only because of that zippable pocket, so I have that little bit of extra security with my stuff. And in case you're wondering what is a cheaper alternative to those Under Armour and North Face shorts, you can go to Target and their Goodfellow brand, like I have right here. This is an older pair, but they are pretty much the same thing. They are a swimming trunk / short. Now, much like the Under Armour, they do not have a zippable pocket, but they do have these buttons that are in the back, so that way you can, secure up your wallet and such. It's just to let you guys have a more thrifty option from good old Target. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, Matt, we know you're not one of those nerds who has the pair of pants that converts over into shorts, right? And you'd be wrong, because I definitely do have the official pair of Boy Scouts of America pants that change over from pants over into shorts. Now, these ones I don't wear that often. I feel like they are really only meant for like a special occasion when I need to be in full uniform. And the biggest selling point of that is how much they cost, and the fact that I have to pay more to get them hemmed, because you do get them unhemmed and you have to get them adjusted. And I didn't really pay attention to what shoe I was wearing when I went to the seamstress, and now I have to wear a very high boot in order to make this not look like I'm walking around in high waters. But if you've never seen these pants before, they're zipper in the front. They have a clasp button like right here. They do have multiple pockets. They don't really have a whole lot of stretch to them. They are meant to be a more resilient pant, but like I said, I don't wear them that often, but I do have them available for certain events. So there's that. All right, so our final item is to get yourself some good socks out of camp. And I'm not going to even beat around the bush about it. You need to get some merino wool socks for it. Now, there's a couple of different brands that I recommend, and I don't want you guys to get sticker shock, because some of these socks like I have right here can be $25 a pair, but they are meant to be beaten, to be worn, to be used and abused, and to stand up for a long time. Like the brand that I have right here is Smartwool. These ones are incredibly comfortable, and they're a like anklet kind of sock. Another brand that you may hear is going to be Darn Tough. I've had these ones for a couple of years, and I use them not on all my hikes, but a majority of the time, because they're comfortable, they're breathable. And if you don't know about merino wool, while it is wool and people are going to think that it's going to be hot and itchy, it actually isn't as hot as I had expected when somebody recommended that I get me a pair of these. And that is also good in the winter time if you have some wool socks, because even if they get wet, they still retain heat and they're still going to keep you warm. Another brand that I have tried out and I really do like them is the brand called Ascend. There you go. These ones, they have the bear on them, which I think that's pretty cool. But all three of these are all mixes of wool or are merino wool, and they're all very, very comfortable. When you go to summer camp, you need to bring multiple pairs of socks. You can bring some normal cotton socks with you if you're just going to be walking around camp, but I always recommend you bring double the amount of socks that you think you're going to need if you're in a like a camp like for Cub Scouts. If you're out hiking out in Philmont and all those other things and you're worried about weight, go with the merino wool. But if you are in camp, bring a couple of extra pair, because there's something about changing your socks in the middle of the day after you've been all hot and sweaty and maybe out on the trail, or you just got your feet a little bit wet because you've been sweating. That feels so good. So I'm going to recommend some of these brands, and then also bring these if you just want to wear them around camp. But yeah, merino wool socks are going to feel amazing. I highly recommend them anytime you go hiking or on summer camp. So that wraps up our list. If you're worried about getting ready for summer camp or getting your scouts ready for summer camp, check out this playlist right here. But with that, I've been Matt with the Roaming Scouter, and I'll see you out there.